So, welcome to this cast. Unfortunate Bandicoot, that's apparently Udayadityavarman's alias here, but who am I to judge? Maybe they like to keep multiple identities. This is the United Nations Hidden Cup round of 8. It started out as a 16-player bracket, players ranging from 1150 to 1600 plus ELO. But the twist is that they all play under hidden identities, so you wouldn't know if you're the 1600 plus player if you're up against an 1100s or a player similar to your skill level. So we have Franks versus Bulgarians here. Franks obviously strong cavalry civ, Bulgarians with, I'd say, decent options to counter that late game with their halberdiers access, and also stirrups, cavalry, hussars to raid really fast. Not to mention the option for early aggression with Bulgarians getting instant men-at-arms or instant swordsman line upgrades. Since it's late in the evening and AOE2 Dark Ages tend to be not all that eventful, I'll fast forward a bit to make sure I can get through all the games today. We'll have a little look at the scoutings of the players, scouting full circle, just grasping at their resources. Blaming is allowed, but the players seem more determined on scouting their bases and finding their resources first. Oh, that's some questionable goals for Udayadityavarman here. Very forward goal at the wrong side of the hill here, so to speak. But main back goal, that's good. And actually, I'm up favoring a Drush fast castle style player, or in this case, maybe even men-at-arms fast castle play for the Bulgarians. We'll see. Franks could open scouts. They would have stronger scouts than the Bulgarians for sure. But I see the barracks going up before the mill on the berries here, so Prithviraj is going for the pre-mill Russia, which I think is a good call against the Bulgarians. That leaves you with an opportunity to catch the Bulgarians militia before they become men-at-arms. Let's slow down a bit here, because now we have some action in the Dark Age already. Some infantry moving forward here for the yellow player. Indeed, not a men-at-arms play. Sorry, Franks are yellow. I'm so used to Franks being blue. Anyway, the theory still stands. I think it might still be a pre-mill rush approach from the Franks here. And the idea, obviously, to intercept the Bulgarians militia before they become men-at-arms. Looks like Udayadityavarman scouting is not too great, though. Finds the opening, obviously. Prithviraj not completely walled yet. And there's the barriers. Okay, so there's still some potential for damage here, but the clock is ticking. It's 50 seconds until the feudal age, with which Prithviraj will have the men-at-arms instantly. Drush getting some hits in, though. This could be a dead villager, actually. For a moment there, I thought it was a very greedy non-loom feudal age here for Prithviraj, but that's not the case. Udayadityavarman tries to commit to get the kill, but doesn't succeed. Nevertheless, lots of damage done on the berries here. Look at all the idle eco time ticking away there for Prithviraj. Much less idle TC time, so to be fair, that's to their advantage still. Feudal age is in, the men-at-arms committing to the forward, but as we can see, Prithviraj didn't remember to get that 10 extra gold needed to afford both loom and the men-at-arms, or the last militia, sorry, not the men-at-arms upgrade, but the last militia. So there are only 2 men-at-arms for it. There's still men-at-arms though, and Prithviraj scouting is, I was going to say better, but actually doesn't know the berries location, which is something you might want to hit against the Franks. Does see that deer carcass in the fog of war, or in the shroud, or whatever you call this though, so the men-at-arms will successfully idle some long-distance hunting here of Udayadityavarman. Berries still off limits, so bad news for Prithviraj there. And of course, far from both of the players far from completing those walls. Ah, killing the hunt. I like that move. That effectively disallows Udayadityavarman to benefit from that long distance hunt. Udayadityavarman can still attack the wood line. Yeah. But now it looks like it's been dealt with villagers probably. Fighting the militia. Great damage still. And this is full feudal age play from Udayadityavarman here. Then these stables go up means that I will see a rush into scouts here from the Franks. Could, in theory, have sniped the farm or two there, but didn't quite commit. I don't see why the scout would run under DC fire there, if not to snipe farms, so that was a bit confusing. Saves the scouts though. That's more than you can say about Udayadityavarman, who lost the scout during the rush, but of course has some numbers around there. Why has Paul chosen this difficult to pronounce hero names? To troll the casters, of course. Oh. So Prithviraj managed to get one villager kill. I think that was earlier on with the starting scout, but ooh, the foragers are captivated here. They are trapped, and there's one. Oh, there's another one. Amazing value from the forward arms from Prithviraj here. That's three villagers. Excuse me, that's 3 villagers dead. And now either isn't looking or doesn't care anymore about the men-at-arms. The damage definitely has been done here. ILT's times comparable, but a bit worse for Prithviraj, who should be happy to have gotten those kills. Scouts fall up for Udayadityavarman, because why not when the map is as open as this? Sacrifices one scout to spearman there though, that's obviously not ideal. Another spearman. You could say that for Prithviraj to invest into the spears is a win in itself, but you've also invested into scouts as defense. You are practicing to pronounce outside of stream, aren't you? Well, I've casted it around the 16 of it, I won't, so I got to test these names when I was 22 hours into my 24-hour stream. So the only one I couldn't pronounce is the Welsh hero from a lot of the leveling up Gruffit. That was just stupid. Another scout, almost going to waste. Is that a weak villager? Nah, I'm not gonna get that one. Snipe farm, no. That's partially built, so that's also not going to be sniped. Let's see for the farm. We go both with 16 on food here. I'm guessing the farm count is comparable, excuse me. And villager counts are pretty similar as well, both with horse color, both without double attacks. I need Akkal snipe emotes, scout Akkal. I don't have room for more emotes. But yeah, maybe I should have that emote. That picture has an emote. One scout to rule them all. Flexing the quick walls here from Prithviraj here. And actually scouts from the Bulgarians player as well, probably just in anticipation of a cavalry switch for the Castle Age. So Bulgarians, if you can get the castle up and get stirrups with Bulgarians, the unique technology, your cavalry will attack 33% faster. So if you can somehow get the castle up and research that technology, you actually have better knights than Franks in the Castle Age. It's not commonly seen. Getting castle up is a huge investment, but nevertheless, it's a way to get a potential small advantage over the Franks, if it's a prolonged Castle Age fight, that is. Ooh, quick balls are gonna help you, buddy. Rush into one scout rush. Well, that's mind games if I ever see any. Garrisoning here, trying to snipe. That's one fucking annoying scout right there. But the counterattack is in as well. These guys are playing full feudal. I love it. But the Franks, having invested less into scouts and spears for that matter, is just 150 food away from the Castle Age now. Okay, you quick wall house wall here. Still an opening on the other side though. So if Prithviraj recognizes this, could sneak around. Looking for some juicy snipes here. Another villager. 4-1 Eco KD, 13-5 KD for Prithviraj here. Looks like the scout has been dealt with in the home base of Prithviraj as well. I'd say after that Frank's rush, I'd expect Udayadityavarman to be in a better spot here, but that opening still bought them an advantage in terms of the idle TC and idle eco time goes on the opponent, I guess, or it's simply doing better eco management overall here. Beating Prithviraj handily to the cast stage. Of course, Franks don't need to research bloodlines either. That's one of the Franks perks of being Franks. They actually have that as a civilization bonus, kind of, with 20% extra hit points on the cavalry units. Udayadityavarman fighting scouts with villagers here, but allowing Prithviraj to get yet another kill here before the spearmen enter the field. At least Bulgars have cheaper blacksmith. That's a very good point. Nice quick call. Cheaper blacksmith techs allow Bulgarians to potentially get to the upgrades quicker than the Franks here, as we see here, actually, +1/+1 for these scouts to eventually benefit the knights as well. I'm assuming there's going to be a double stable for the Bulgarians as well. Maybe Pike monk defense as well. The gold investment doesn't really suggest more than one stable here. We want to get another villager? What the heck? 6 villagers is amazing value from the scouts from Prithviraj. Maybe having Udayadityavarman caught off guard here because of the bloodlines and +1/+1 for the scouts. But Franks, of course, beating the Bulgarians handily to the castle age here. Prithviraj in the throne will be going up with wheelbarrow in and with a stronger economy overall. Much more villagers, not having lost 8 as is the case right now for the opponent. We might be seeing a longer drawn-out boon game here to follow this up, because we see the walls starting to go up. And never mind, 3 stables, no less, for Prithviraj here. Reading the territory, I guess, seeing the second TC for the Franks, and wanting to outproduce Franks and just play into the fact that Udayadityavarman is not fully walled and attempting a multiple TC play here, not investing heavily into army, looking at the gold count and everything. There are 2 stables for the Franks player as well, so there's some production going on, but we'll see how it follows up. Spears getting some nice hits in there, +1/+1 for both players with the knights here, with 3 stables for Prithviraj working, only 1 for the Franks. Oh, found a woodline though. That's going to be another few villagers down for Prithviraj. Actually, Eco KD is evened out now. Some great value from the first few knights from Udayadityavarman here, until Prithviraj can get the numbers back up and rolling here. And of course, playing only 1 TC here for each villager that Udayadityavarman kills here with consistent TC production at home. It's going to grant the Franks a solid eco lead here. And currently it's 45 to 34 villagers, so this has certainly turned around. But Prithviraj, undeniably with a larger military overall here, could definitely go for a counter-attack play here. 3 TCs for the Franks player, 1 on stone, indicating some castles are to be investing in as well. It's only losing because of a fucking hole near barracks. Well, it's not like blue is full walled here. Or do you mean from the rush? Yeah, maybe you meant from the rush early on. 14 military to 2, military advantage by far for Prithviraj here. 8 knights, 3 scouts, 3 spears. Seen the third TC as well. So larger eco investment here for the Franks. Bulgarians have cheaper town centers though, so with the scout first knight, interesting. Yeah, he's seen the hole now with that one, so got him off guard. Double monastery for Udayadityavarman. Full on monk defense behind the wall, such a boomer. Yeah. No, only producing monks from one of them is a gold struggle by the looks of it. As Prithviraj. Desperate to do some damage on 37 villagers to 51. Still only one TC, right? But obviously more military. Just casually passing through there and finds the woodline. Will be finding some kills now for the knights before the walls can go up, I think. Yeah, it's commitment. It's going to mean losing some knights, but it also evens out, well, not evens out, but it's some villager kills sorely needed for Prithviraj to try and catch up in the economy here, or at least keep the damage high enough to not allow the Franks the eco advantage of multiple TC boom here, and causing a lot of idle time, but yeah, lots of idle TC time, but there's 3 TCs to 1 for the Franks player here, producing out of all 3 now. Going to keep that villager lead still until Prithviraj can invest into more town centers and economy at home as well. Good defense from Udayadityavarman for sure, making monks whenever gold allows, and also not allowing Bulgarian knights to enter easily. There's the second TC from Prithviraj on the remainder of this small woodline and one of the side golds. Sorry, someone calling. Okay, at least there wasn't a smoke this time. There was some chat about the smoke break in one of the other games, and we don't know if any of the players in the Hidden Cup are smoking, so that would be some interesting debates there. 22 military tonight, so still the military superiority by far from Prithviraj here, as you see Udayadityavarman dropping the first castle here. Nice defensive spot there to prevent trades from this side, and also allowing for throwing axemen to be made if you ever need that against enemy infantry. And Bulgarians being an infantry civilization, that's not unlikely at all. Military production has halted for Prithviraj for now, probably kind of happy with the numbers over the opponent at this point. 2 TCs producing, but yeah, now 20 villagers behind. Could be a bit of a concern here. 50, 20, yeah, the farm eco seems comparable between the players. Prithviraj trying for a raid there, but obviously runs right into the castle. And there are throwing axemen being made here. Few stray knights just peeking to see what's going on here, I think. Oh, ouch! Wait, that fight went way too well for the knights. He actually killed 2 spearmen there. Another TC for Prithviraj with the score lead as well. Slightly higher kills. Possibly more technologies, yeah. Could be playing in here. Second attack upgrades. Going to both outnumber and have better upgrades than the Franks Knights line here. Another attempt at the break in here. I like the approach because it's on the different side of the monks, or the monasteries on the other side, so at least the monks have to travel further. Still, you want to dodge the monks, of course, so that you don't lose any units unnecessarily to conversions. That dude isn't... Oh, there's the Wololo, or the singing. So Prithviraj just simply backs off. These 15 knights are scared of this persuasive old man here. Troy has been doing surprisingly good damage on the knights as been passing through. You'd think they had ballistics or something, but yeah, getting some sneak HP in there, but Prithviraj could of course use monks of their own to heal this up a little bit before the next volley. Eco situation is kind of catching up for the Bulgarians here, but still, yeah, there's the 4th TC coming up. Maybe more to secure map control to the side than to actually boom from it, but with 4 TCs producing, there's a chance Prithviraj can catch up in the villager count here. Franks now on the way to the Imperial Age though. I think the Imperial Imp is queued behind villagers here somewhere. Yep, there it is. Whoa, whoa, whoa! Hello, everyone! See some familiar names here. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for the raid today. I saw you signed up for the Nomad tournament, the 2v2, so that's gonna be nice. Maybe you get your revenge not playing on the controller this time. Hi, where are everyone? I don't doubt it. Chapterburger. So I'm casting a highly local event here. This is my clan Knighted Nation arranging their own Hidden Cup variant, 16-player bracket with ELO range from 1150 to 1600 plus. But under hidden identities, so the players don't know if they're up against a player of similar skill or someone vastly below. But this is the round of 8, so we've obviously evened out the weakest, cleared out the weakest players most likely. You play music, trombone, almost. I play the horn, exclamation mark horn for the story. Hey, thanks, Udayadityavarman. So the alerts are my own recordings of several game-themed thingies, like the main team, and yeah, of course, the attack alert. It's the French horn, Chapterburger. Thanks for hosting great tournaments. Happy to hear that they are appreciated. See you around, Dave. Thank you again. French horn, indeed. If you look at my logo, that's how it looks like. Wait, what happened with the? Thank you so much for the gift sub. What's happening with the sub alert? That's really hope it's not bugging out. You left-handed? No. There it is. So thanks to Chapterburger for gifting a sub to my trusted moderator and friend Udayadityavarman. That would be my own little medley of a mashup of the main team and some Game of Thrones and then some. But in time for a kind of a battle event in the game as well. Knights running into Cavalier here. Sorry I missed whether Prithviraj did go for stirrups here, but if he did, But it looked like a good fight after all, but that was more the numbers than upgrades. French horn. Now that's an instrument I haven't heard in a long time. I can't emulate Obi-Wan's voice, sadly. No, I'm not left-handed, but true, the keys are played with the left hand on the French horn. Horrible fight for Prithviraj, by the way. Wasting a lot of knights here, but probably in anticipation of a need of a halberdier switch or something here against the Franks push. This doesn't look too pretty for the Bulgarians right now, though. Being pushed by Trebs and, yeah, throwing Axeman, Cavalier from the fully boomed Franks here, who seem to have a better overall economy. Gotta do some dad stuff. Thanks for stopping by and thanks for helping in. See you around. I'm assuming Prithviraj deleted that foundation because there's stone in the bank still. And now he's being pushed further back here with another castle to cover some woodlines and golds and whatnot here. Frank's cheaper castles at work here, and not one going up near a stone here, suggesting more castles are to come with Udayadityavarman making use of the forward builders to mine stone here. Mainly throwing axemen, and remember, they have been kind of... Wait, did it do anything else than just switch up the unique technologies from Castle Age? No, from Imperial Age to Castle Age, maybe not, but they're seeing some use here for sure. It kind of stops the Bulgarians from going infantry defense as well, or like Cavalier. Halberdier, sorry, it's getting late here in Norway. So we're at a massive boom for the Bulgarians here, builder-wise speaking. So kind of catching up to the Franks' eco that way. Still some potential for some speedy Bulgarians hussar raids here on the Franks side. I see some stray knights just gathering some intel on the sides here. And Udayadityavarman playing for the long game here with the castles mainly on the right side here. Paladin is in. That's one you don't see a lot in 1v1s actually, but certainly strong for the Franks. Strongest paladins in the game in terms of hit points. I think Prithviraj should be able to pick all this out if they're paying attention, and see halberdiers here as well. So as long as the paladins don't stay close to the throwing axemen, halberdiers will of course be able to chew up. No, he didn't house wall behind. Ah. So Udayadityavarman can run in and raid freely with the paladins here now. Could be that Prithviraj doesn't mind too much losing some builders at this point to make more room for army, but it's still gonna hurt. Because you're not at the critical mass of halberdiers yet to deal with these kinds of masses of paladins. Well, masses, I'm exaggerating, it's only 13 of them, but we see Udayadityavarman playing the map here. 3 Trebs pushing the castles out. Onager is in for Prithviraj here. I'm assuming as a response to the throwing axemen then, which makes sense, but there are also paladins on the field to somewhat easily snipe those. Halb, Onager, but not nearly enough Halbs here too. Onagers go down just like that. So lots of resources in the bank, and then paladins still roaming around. Prithviraj losing castles, getting housed. That's going to impair production as well. And the earlier boom for the Franks is seriously starting to pay off here with the consistency of production and patient, slow push here. Wasting those, losing those traps to Onager though, and helps. Ooh, a hero hussar to snipe the trap maybe? No. on the move. Are we going to see some hefty counter raids here from Prithviraj? We only have. Is that 15 hussars or something, or 15? Yeah, I don't. It's just a few hussars on the field for now, but they could still get some value here given the openness of Udayadityavarman's base right now. And Paladins doing serious work here. Look at the Eco KD for Udayadityavarman. The villager numbers are even again now. However, the production of Prithviraj, the Halberdiers namely, and Hussars is escalating. The Paladins will eventually be cleaned up, but they've done their work here. This seems mainly about closing out the game for Udayadityavarman here. Onagir's switch investment, usually a very expensive one, but for Bulgarians get it at half price, so it's worthwhile in this case. Another castle at home for Udayadityavarman is going to limit the Hussar raids here. But since the Franks haven't been playing any archers or ranged offensive, there's no ballistics for the castles, so they will be subpar against moving targets like Hussars, namely the Hussars here. Franks get access to Halberdier as well, so they might need to go into that at some point. Trebor is on here. Somehow that... What? That was a hit? How is that Treb not dead? That's a hero Treb if I've ever seen any. Those are not Warwolf Trebs, to say the least. Oh, Onagir's unprotected! Great value from the light cab, and Paladins killing 3 Onagir's just like that from Prithviraj here. That must have been a misclick. Why did the throw go there? Is this an offering just to throw Prithviraj off their game, or... So mind games, military situation might be the most important one here. Eco doesn't seem to matter that much at this stage in the game. Prithviraj for the Hussar and Halberdier spam will want a few more farmers, maybe 50, 60 or so to keep up Hussar spam, but also conserving a lot of gold here, which could come in handy for a stronger push later on if you want to go. Could say Halb Siege, but I think the throwing axemen are here. Yeah, exclamation mark AOE. That's nice, Halberdier Henry. That was a good call. League of Empires certainly deserve more attention. Yeah, I was gonna say Halb Siege Ram for Prithviraj to make it a bit awkward to Franks to handle, but with the throwing axeman on the field, that kind of eliminates that option for the Bulgarians here. There are a few paladins still at work, but Udayadityavarman is potentially running out of gold here. Why would blue... Why would blue add 200 swordsmen? Okay, that one. There are so many throwing axemen here. No double bit axe. Oh. Imp into double bit axe for, or imp into no double bit axe for Udayadityavarman, in fact. Once he research for the baggings for Axeman, no problem. They still have the range. Oh, that one. Ooh, but Onigir doing work as well, until it gets sniped. Good trade for the Onigir there, I guess. Taking out quite a few throwing X-Men. Gold is an issue though, there are 2 relics for each player. I can't even see the last one. Maybe it's over here or something. But looking at the yellow map, yellow is winning terrain here. Certainly pushing blue extensively here. 101 villagers for Prithviraj, and still struggling to keep up with numbers here. Lots of gold in the bank, not really being used. So could make for an element of surprise. That stable is hardly sneaky once the castle goes up. But no gold miners at all for Udayadityavarman here. Prithviraj, why aren't you spending the gold? What's the idea here? I mean, there's probably no way to justify production. What do you even make against masses of throwing X-Men? It doesn't look too pretty for blue, does it? It's being raided with throwing X-Men means the halberdiers can't do stuff here. Hussars should be somewhat weak to these big masses of throwing X-Men as well, because the throwing X-Men deal ranged melee damage. GG, well played is called, and Frank's try-hard pick works nicely out for Udayadityavarman here. Let's have a look at the stats, and then pull up game number 2. No double attacks, Imp double attacks, and Bozo, just to compensate finally for Udayadityavarman. KD, very much in favor of the Fangs here. Seemed like an overall good plan. With the Drush with that kind of map that Franks had, and then playing into the scouts because of both players committing to or playing it rather open. So that was nice to see some extended full feudal for a while there. More wood for the Bulgarians. Food eco, I'd expect it to be higher for a potential Hussar spam. Technically, Udayadityavarman didn't have a response to Hussar raids in home base, but kept it very safe with castles and everything, of course. So, but that could have been a way back for Prithviraj, maybe. And yeah, smoother imp for the Franks. Solid window of opportunity there. Did he get to elite throwing axeman, by the way? He did indeed. Alright. Let's find the next one. Yeah, it was huge when the paladins broke in that easily through the house. That was so easily kept out with the house behind. Blue was catching up in eco, but let the raids enter. So, second game on Prithviraj's home map. Mudflow! Awesome. That should be cool. So Mudflow, a map that absolutely favors scouts play, I'd say. Smooth and easy starting food. Why aren't you connecting? Oh. You heard me. Gonna grab some water. There's lots of water here. No need to move. Anyway, it's Mudflow. It was a map we saw a few times in the Hidden Cup. But not used all that much as a home map. And Chinese, fantastic pick by the home map picker here, Prithviraj. It could be that Udayadityavarman expected Chinese for Arabia or something, but obviously very solid pick here for the Chinese. You have instant access to food, so you get to keep that 3-villager lead almost completely when getting loot straight away. Bring in the elephant nice and early here. This could essentially be either a similar uptime for Chinese with Udayadityavarman Skmer with maybe 19 pop and Chinese with 22 pop scouts here, or it could be an even ridiculously early fuel age for Chinese here just to flood out these scouts and punish Khmer. You can't build on this terrain, so if you're able to run under TC and raid or force the builders to garrison, you can. And see, Udayadityavarman not risking going into the middle. There's hybrid terrain all over here, so like on Waternomen and these kinds of maps, you could use demolition ships to take out woodlands if you're not careful. I'm guessing the players are familiar enough with these maps to know that the positions are fixed, I guess, or should expect the opponent to be exactly on the other side. Two elephants, shorefish, a boldfish, two bits of salmon, leave the TC. Just look at that idle time. Look at the villager counts. 2 villagers lead with loom for Prithviraj. I'm assuming Khmer don't have loom yet. Perks of being Khmer, I guess, is that you could garrison villagers inside houses. So if you get raided, at least you don't risk losing villagers as much. But you're because of the ease of access to food early on this map, you're just already at a huge disadvantage versus Chinese. You'll be extremely dependent on doing that early damage. Otherwise, they'll just capitalize on that eco lead they already have. And Prithviraj going straight for the middle woodland here. That's going to be more efficient. 4 on wood versus only 2 for the Khmer, is it? It's about to become 3. This could be a very early Khmer straight scouts build as well, actually. Just no barracks, nothing, just straight for the stable. But I'm assuming Udayadityavarman won't risk that here against Chinese, because if the Chinese go for the scouts here, they'll be most likely be able to match Khmer or beat Khmer to the uptime and with a better economy behind it. Look at the food count here. Could be a click up quite soon for Prithviraj here. There it is. That's a ridiculous fuel age time with 20 pop for the Chinese here. That's going to kick in at 7. Yeah, 7 something. And using the starting scout to just let Udayadityavarman know what's up here as well. There's the barracks, well in time for it to... Yeah, that timing is perfect. That's going to complete just as fuel age kicked in, and with this wood investment on 1 lumber camp, Prithviraj should easily be able to afford the stables as well. Scout is here again, taking some TC fire. Just confirming that there's some wood investment here. We'll have a quick look at the players' scoutings here. They seem to be on point. That is beating the Khmer by more than 40 seconds with even with 1 more villager going up here as well. Crazy Chinese. There's the stable, obviously. No barracks for the Khmer, surprisingly enough, so Udayadityavarman might be relying on hiding in houses here. But we'll see. There's wood enough for whatever that production building might be. Yeah, it's going to be the stables. No surprise there. But a bit of a surprise not to commit to a barracks here for defensive spearmen, as you should probably expect that Prithviraj is in fact making the scouts here with this kind of uptime. Ooh, gonna get a villager. So that's a good sniping a farm as well. This is starting scout of Udayadityavarman is doing work here. Still not catching up with that villager lead that Prithviraj has, though. There's, yeah, 2-ish villagers for Prithviraj, but will be needing a house and doesn't even stress it here at 25 pop. So now suddenly the TC will be running idle for quite a while here, and Udayadityavarman has a potential to catch up. Fix the mistaken link, nice. Thank you. Alright, let's see for the scouts forward here. Villagers spreading out like ants here. There are some weakened ones, but note how the Khmer player keeps houses close to most of the resources here as well. To limit raids. Dock going up just now for the Khmer. There's no fish on the hybrid terrain here. It's simply a means of having the woodlands being a little bit more risky to take in the middle there because with naval control with ships and possibly even demolition ships to get some hits in on the woodlands, you could sway the favors of the game big time. Scouts numbers are evening out. Oh, demo ship for Udayadityavarman. Go! Let's go! Let's go! Okay, if this gets a juicy hit, I might actually go grab myself a beer. This is the real shit. What are you doing? Oh, surprise! Maybe. Yes, no, don't let the quick wall. Ah, okay, that's fine. That's 3 villagers. Think add beer. Oof, great demo hit! And 6 villagers dead, just like that for Prithviraj. Goodbye, Chinese lead. I'm surprised not to see any 11 or dadgum in the chat or something like that. But Chinese lead definitely gone there. Finally, Udayadityavarman scrambles up a barracks. And yeah, not the prettiest eco ever for the Khmer either, I guess. Either these times comparable. Idle eco time, much worse for the Khmer player. And this woodland certainly about to be depleted soon enough. No spearmen at the ready yet, so the scouts are free to engage. And behind this Prithviraj, arguably with a better economy due to less idle eco time. 50 viewers, all color. Yes, we got raided by Dave, which was very nice. Didn't see you wrote me earlier, but Thursday is my Friday, so I can have drunk steam on Thursdays. Ah, that explains it, just for fun. Yeah, nice to have the most recent Reddit link as well. We'll need some League of Empires publication here, that's nice. So many weak villagers here. They have to either garrison or fight, or either way, it's idling a lot of the economy of Udayadityavarman. 10 minutes to 42 here. Just 1 military for Udayadityavarman, 3 spears and 5 scouts for Prithviraj. There's still some potential for the Chinese here. We see the village counts have evened out again. Cheers. Not beer. Somehow, all these scouts are still alive, and Prithviraj keeps committing here. And why not? This map is very open, however you look at it. No more demolition ships hits here. Prithviraj has learned since last time and walled up here. So, but even more scouts joining in. No upgrades yet. I'd love to see some defense or attack or something. Maybe attack to snipe villagers even more easily, given the weak ones here. But obviously, Udayadityavarman is adding spears to defend as well. An investment that could be considered a win from Prithviraj, because that is 175 wood Khmer don't necessarily need to invest. So I know Prithviraj loves his scouts play, so this would strike me as one map he'd pick as a home map. So I'll just leave that guess. He's got some nice awareness here with the scouts as well. Gonna get more snipes for sure, and this is probably annoying as hell to Udayadityavarman here. Forging on the way in, so once forging is in, I think Prithviraj will consider engaging against single spears, but not at all against 4, obviously. There's still this woodland here that could be hit. So the Eco KD is 7-6 for Udayadityavarman still after that juicy demo shit on demo what? Demolition ship hit on the woodland. But definitely the army advantage here for Prithviraj and Udayadityavarman, not really being constantly harassed by the scout here, not really able to produce enough army to contest or to go to the next stage here. And so really, really nice scouts offensive from Prithviraj here. Look at that idle eco time, that's just sick. That's some fantastic scouts offensive by Prithviraj here. More than 1 hour of idle eco time for Udayadityavarman, who will not be able to click hype anytime soon here. Is investing into, I don't know what, keeping the TC running and maybe some spears. But having to hop into houses all the time means that you'll be idling lots of economy along the way as well. And with this amount of scouts with +1/+1 upgrades as well, even spearmen aren't much of a threat. This is domination from Prithviraj on the home map of Mudplow here. A little bit surprised Prithviraj hasn't contested this woodland, but also doesn't really have it scouted. Is gonna find it now. Yep. Just pounding away at houses. So idle eco timer ticking away here. Prithviraj 43 to 28 villagers. Are you kidding me? This game ends in feudal. There's no reason to ever let Khmer get back from this. Woodland gets lost again. No wood access whatsoever for Udayadityavarman. I'm honestly not sure why they're still holding on here, because this is just scouts domination from the Chinese, and Khmer admittedly out-sibbed here on this map considering the ease of food around the town center, giving Chinese those 3 extra villagers for free. Yeah, fighting with villagers here. Why are you still fighting with Udayadityavarman? Just GG and go next. There it is. Nice home map performance from Prithviraj. We'll be going to Udayadityavarman's first home map next. See the solid flow of units here, wheelbarrow, horse collar, whatnot. Overall stronger eco for the Chinese. So surprised to see horse collar that late, but that's probably because you take the berries, take the hunt, take the trophy show, the TC before farms, so your farms can be delayed. KD is 39 to 21. A lot of that was villagers of the Khmer, and the idle eco timer should speak for itself with the amount of raids being done. 805 fuel age, and that was 20 pop for the Chinese. Pretty crazy. Alright, to the next one. Just gonna double check that this is K3. And it is. And the map is Cup. And not your most commonly seen Cup sibs, so that's cool to see. Okay, let's speed this one up a bit for the sake of getting through all the game. This was Bay, no Bay. Oh, this is Cup. It's pre-patch, yes. So it could be Inca's village rolling. That's true. I did downgrade the game to cast this. Ooh, snagging some sheep, are we? So that's 2 sheep less for Prithviraj. With the Italians here, going for a barracks that should be the pre-mill drush to try and punish the potentially the fish eco of Udayadityavarman. Hold on. Let's slow down here for the aggression. We're reaching normal tempo now, right? Yeah. Alright, so sorry to disappoint you, Ogda1. This is not your go-to Incas Noboru rush play here. 3 militia for the Italians versus 2 militia and the scout of Udayadityavarman. Still, Udayadityavarman is taking a decent fight here, maybe. Loses 2 militia, keeps the scout alive for now, and that could also heal inside of TC. TC gets some shots in on the militia, and the aggression kind of ends here before Udayadityavarman can reach the before Prithviraj can reach the base of Udayadityavarman. Not much damage done, other than losing your own militia. And that's an investment in food and gold, of course. Udayadityavarman with more idle TC time here, so after all, it's kind of upset the early stages of the game for the yellow player here. Milling the hunt now to boost the food, not committing to any dog just yet, but that goes for both of the players. Prithviraj now with the dog to take the fish on the top side here and maybe establish some control for the middle gold here as well. I think this is a good timing for a dock now that both of the infantry investments are dealt with for both players. It means that your fish eco won't get rushed or anything early on there. It's kind of risky to establish early fish eco on this map because melee units can walk on this field. So if you go for a pre-milled rush like both players did here, then you could use those infantry units to hit fishing ships. Prithviraj with somewhat ambitious walling here. But it also limits raid in this direction. I like how the palisades are far enough out to keep the gold somewhat safe from Feudal Age archers. At least you could mine this side of the gold without having to worry about Feudal Age archers units. I'm guessing Prithviraj will wall all the way to the edge of the map. And that early game chat showed that Italians was picked because they thought it was Bay and not Cup. But that's their loss. I'd say both civilizations here could go for the Archers line unit. They both have fully upgraded Arbalest, as Prithviraj scrambles up a house here and drops another lumber camp on the woodland, at least as soon as the wood income allows. Oh, that's so annoying having to wait for having to wait for a little bit wood for lumber camp. Italians can still be decent for cup. Yeah, for sure. Italians have lots of strengths on water, so it's not a bad pick by any means. Oh, that's gonna be so annoying. 1 spearman popping out. 2 spearmen. What are you expecting here? Italian scouts? Or is it because of the bonus against ships? That's ingenious! Oh, spearmen have bonus against ships. Gotta go. Nice to see you stopping by. Hal, Birdie, or Henry. See you around. And a tower on the dock as well. Alright, so maybe this kind of noble style here. We don't have any blacksmith upgrades yet, but the tower goes up on the crushing the dock. I like it. This is Udayadityavarman's home map, so Incas must be a well thought through pick for this one. Enter a fire galley as well, just to more quickly take out the dock here. Not gonna allow Prithviraj to take any advantage of the cheap Italian fishing ships here. In the meantime, Prithviraj is just walled off towards the woodland here. So not all the way to the edge for now, just going a bit more closer to home. Makes sense, actually. It's easier to wall behind here as needed than sending a villager all the way towards the edge. If you ever are in a need to revolt. Single range blacksmith for the Italians player here. Prithviraj wants to deal with villagers and spears maybe, but will not be benefiting from any fish boom as said, and Udayadityavarman just taking advantage of the map control they currently have and dropping a market in the middle of the hybrid terrain here, establishing some presence on the lake on this side as well. Feudal eagles for the Incas, no upgrades whatsoever. So not sure what that investment is supposed to mean, but still an annoyance that has to be dealt with. Yeah, this is a flood of fuel eagles. What is this? This is this is unpredictable, if anything. And the constant annoyance certainly keeps Udayadityavarman's opponent busy here, forcing the archers to clean up at home before eventually moving out to 3 ranges. But okay, that's because Castlage is on the way, so I'm not clearly not paying attention here. Italians cheaper, advancing through the ages after all, easier to get to the next stage. As a tower from Prithviraj, 1 villager tower goes up on this gold as well. Prithviraj, unaware of that. Looks like they might have plans to go out with the archers here though, so with any luck, that 1 villager can be spotted before the tower goes up. Let's see, Prithviraj, I think it sees it. Don't let this tower go up. Come on. I mean, you could easily tear it down with villagers again, but seriously. Okay, not seeing it. That's fine. That's a masterpiece of a tower from Udayadityavarman right there. It goes up. It doesn't reach all of the gold, thankfully, but it's still so annoying. Now let's see for the counterattack. Soon to be crossbows, I hope. Oh, just clicked. Okay, I'm still gonna do damage here though. Looks like Udayadityavarman is going to pull the eagles here. 4 barracks eagles. Who do we know in United Nations who likes going exclusively for eagles? This might very well be Karanrime. But And Udayadityavarman played Khmer on Mudflow, right? Khmer for Mudflow, Incas for, and full eagles. Not straight eagles though, which Karanrime usually would do, but still loves the eagles play and not getting great value from them just yet. We'll be needing Eagle Warrior here for this to really clean up the crossbows. But for barracks, certainly allow for consistent production. You need the gold though, which is a concern for Udayadityavarman right now. Okay, that +2 certainly helped out, even for Eagle Scouts. Makes it awkward for the limited master crossbows to deal with. In the Prithviraj, to mention Prithviraj is that there's only fletching in no bulk arrows, so they need more volleys to take out the Eagle Scouts. 4 barracks, only one producing right now, but that's due to gold shortage. Once these 9 gold miners kick in, more Eagles will easily enter the field. Garrison and TC here losing 3 villagers so far. You turtle, I tower. That would be Karandirme's alternate account, playing only Incas and towering if the opponent turtles. Otherwise, playing full on Eagles. But now they're not doing anything. Probably a result of a forced drop to get some production going and then forgetting about them due to some other offenses. 5 elders killed by Prithviraj now, and the walls complete at home as well. Lots of wood though, so not the most beautiful eco balance you'll ever see. Again, that fish boom of the Italians has been significantly denied or delayed. Villager still stands by the tower, and palisade walls are up as well, so Prithviraj can't easily just tear down this one. Nice. Yeah, crossbow mass is larger now for the Italians. Player can one-shot these eagles. Still no eagle warriors. That would require food and gold to go into that upgrade. Obviously, blacksmith upgrade takes priority when up against ranged fire. You want that defense as well. Gear sour, but I'd say the Italians forward is very successful here. Doesn't mind too much not having access to fish, committing to town centers and farms at home. University for ballistics as well to more easily hit targets like the eagles. Let's see for the scouting here for Prithviraj. Yeah, gonna get the gold miners now. That's so many villagers down for Udayadityavarman here. Losing all of the gold access, and that means no more eagles. That basically means no more army production for Udayadityavarman possible after a few more eagles here. 43-14 KD Prithviraj, really showing a force of power here, spreading out the groups of crossbows here as well. Yeah, this is very solid of Prithviraj on cup, I'll say. Another tower on the gold. I love it. Deny gold access for the archers player here. There's about gold in the back though, so I don't think Prithviraj worries too much. For the other, as annoying as can be. And is there any gold access? No, yet again, Prithviraj is on point with the crossbows to deny gold access. Look at the Eco KD, 31-1 for the Italians player here with the crossbows. Yet again, idle TC, idle eco time just spiking up to the heavens here, and Prithviraj has succeeded to find the migration of the woodlands. Well, ballistics obviously in taking out more villagers, not chasing. Interesting. Defensive castle on the main gold now, playing it safe at home base here. And I'm sure Prithviraj knows by now that with all these villager kills, there's really not much to worry about. GG is called. Prithviraj takes the cup game here. And now let's see for the stats. Yeah, solid army domination for the Italians player. Triple ranges, earlier castle age, as might be expected by the Italians, not getting to take advantage of any fish economy, but still well played for sure to get those crossbows out and play the map accordingly, denying gold of the Inquest player going for the eagles. Makes it look rather easy. Right. We're going to game 4. And let's see what that's going to bring us. It's going to be another one of it's going to be another one of Udayadityavarman's home maps, right? And for this one we have Bypass. And you, as you can see, it resembles Hideout in style, but you have a bypass in the middle here and opening, which you usually see players walling off with houses, maybe on the enemy side, just to keep any early feudal age aggression from entering your base. These palisades are obviously false comfort. They are easily broken by, for example, men-at-arms. But for the sake of continuity, let's speed up a little bit, because this might be a rather slow, booming map, depending on how the players solve this. Cumans versus Malay here, so Cumans could go for the second feudal HTC out on the sides here and go for a greedy boom, because with the town center you'd more easily secure these extra resources. That could be the play here. Could also be a fast castle play into a kind of a capped ramp push or whatnot here. We see Prithviraj with Malay here walling off, and unfortunate Bandicoot, aka Udayadityavarman the First, just calls the 11 taunt and just laughs at the fact that Prithviraj doesn't want to risk any breaking through in the middle here. Idle his time at a minimum here. Seems to be a tiny bit of a struggle to push in the ostrich here as well. They tend to spawn outside on this map. So Ballet, obvious advantage on closed and semi-closed map is that, or any map really, is that they go through the ages 66% faster. What's become common recently is to go for an early feudal age with the Malay, go for the feudal age eco upgrade nice and early on to boost your early economy, and then still get a rather early... Hey, what happened here? Did the villager actually... Yeah, why didn't you complete the walls the first time? Oh, outpost even. Well, not taking any chances here, are we? Yeah, I was going to say Malay could go early to the feudal age to go into the eco upgrades and boost their eco advantage that way, and they still go faster to the cast age as well, so they could go to the cast age with early feudal age eco upgrades and a healthy population moving into the cast age. Just knocking at the door here from Prithviraj, so to tell you I know you're here. Not that that's any big surprise. Wait, what? Wow. Wow. Don't trust you either. Alright, going out to mill the hunt here. Still Dark Age, Udayadityavarman with the feudal age on the way here. At 21 pop, that definitely suggests, with a generic civ it would suggest scouts, but with humans it would suggest a second town center. And it remains to be seen if they are inside the walls or what happens here, of course. Yeah, it's going to go down in the... Oh, the golden woodland. That's fine. Kind of close to the edge of the walls though. Something that Udayadityavarman neglects to scout for now is the fact that Prithviraj is going real greedy here with the outside hunt. Maybe to get an even smoother and quicker castle age with the Malay here. Hunt is collected faster than, for example, sheep and berries, so you'd really do well to boost your economy this way. Still no fuel edge click from Prithviraj. Could this be the 20 elephants in 20 minutes build here with the melee? That would be pretty epic if that's the case. Because the going up at 30 pop could even be fast imp actually. Fast imp arbalest bombard cannon. Who knows? And there's Udayadityavarman with the scouting. Nice. Scout will go down, of course, but Villager gets significantly weakened, and most importantly, Udayadityavarman knows that Prithviraj is in fact here. Still poking away at the doors. Could be patrol actually. We'll note that the villager counts are escalating for Udayadityavarman here, keeping both town centers producing. Doing what the Cubans do best at this stage in the game. Being the only civilization that can construct a second town center in the feudal age. 39 villagers for Udayadityavarman, and at one point Prithviraj will be clicking to the cast stage. That's going to happen now. No, not yet. But probably soon. Blacksmith. Oh, missing the buildings. Okay, so that delays the cast stage click a bit here. That's probably why they're making even more villagers. Missing the second building. Oh, this is totally the elephant push in the cast stage. I love it. Let's see how Udayadityavarman will react to that. Will he even spot the sneak to the side here? Not yet. 36 population up here. Humans committing to the feudal age here. Second stable going up. And our yellow can't scout this because yellow didn't go for yellow lost the starting scout to the equal to the side of Prithviraj here. Cast stage is in, elephants go out. Let's now finally it's time to slow this down a bit. I almost forgot about that, but now we should be going down to normal speed. 2 forward stables. Almost consistently producing elephants here, but the food eco is still tiny bit off here for Prithviraj. Maybe overestimating the speed of the hunt collection here. Let me boom, man! Little did Yellow know, or Udayadityavarman know, that the elephant stampede is coming their way. Now, small advantage for the Cubans in this regard is that their palisades gates and walls, they have more hit points, 375 to 250. Stables are going up here, cast stage is on the way. Actually, in fact, cast stage is 80% on the way, so cast stage will hit in for the Cubans here before the elephants can roam freely inside their base, and the production doesn't seem on point here for Prithviraj. Triple stables and a siege workshop for the Cubans player here. That could mean capped rams to easily push through the paper-thin palisade walls on the other side here. Only 7 elephants for Prithviraj, and the clock definitely ticking now to move over. Ain't got time to wait for 20 elephants here now. Enter the scout, and surprise! This shouldn't be too hard for the Cubans to hold, though. There's 10 builders mining gold. You could drop a few monasteries if you're Udayadityavarman, and then get some conversions in on these beefy boys. 11, 811. Oh, that's maybe just a part of the nickname, but 11. You're up against melee, man. You should see this coming. 54 villagers to 43 though, so Udayadityavarman can definitely handle losing some villagers here. I love the camels addition as well. They do surprisingly well against elephants, and especially against Prithviraj's elephants, because Malay stable units only get the first defense, the feudal age defense. Yeah, no reason to panic. You could even garrison the TC without too much of a concern here. How many villagers? That's less than the villager difference between the two. The stables aren't consistently producing for Prithviraj here either. So this is tickling the back of Udayadityavarman here, but not nearly enough to take them off their game here. The capped rams are moving over to the other side as well. And only one of them, but if you break through here as Udayadityavarman, once you clean up the elephants, you're free to just run in and raid Prithviraj to death at home, because Prithviraj has everything except that one barracks at home. There we go, up goes the... Down goes the houses, and Udayadityavarman with the capped ram push now. One ram at a time. Still needs to deal with the elephants here. The village count is even now between the two, but Prithviraj's push clearly hasn't been doing enough here. Udayadityavarman doesn't seem too concerned here. Prithviraj also has to commit villagers to deal with capped rams here, and being capped rams, Cuban's also the only civilization with access to capped rams in the Castle Age. They will tank a lot more damage than generic rams, battering rams. So this is lot of idle eco time for Prithviraj. Why not add in the monks though? And just get some conversions in and use the elephants for counterattack. Yeah, Udayadityavarman lost a lot, in fact. Almost 7 vills? That doesn't seem right, but it's still concerning. Yeah, that's true. It was definitely ahead in feudal. And forgetting the fact that Prithviraj actually added a second TC, that's of course why it's evening out. I'm just surprised the elephants do so much damage, and that Udayadityavarman didn't invest into either more camels, just be very patient about it. Why the capped rams at all? Maybe to get some counter attack in, but I feel like this elephant did a lot more damage than they should have. Mangonel now to push for Udayadityavarman, but yeah, I guess the scouting is okay. Udayadityavarman knows that there's a TC over here, and does maybe know about that one, unless that's a spec bug. Doubling up on the spears here, should be able to afford pikemen as well. That's on the way, in fact. And also better eco upgrades for the humans here. Wheelbarrow, horse collar, bowsaw. So if you factor in wheelbarrow here, it's actually a kind of a one villager lead for Udayadityavarman, but Prithviraj with the now soon to be 4 TCs is going to catch up here. Monk, pike, siege, all Uday need. Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing about bypass, right? I mean, if you get too overly focused on the main base of the enemy, you think that it's over if you push them over here. But look at the villager count here. Look at the 3, soon to be 4 TCs for Prithviraj. That's not being noticed at all by the humans. I've made exactly the same mistake myself on this map. Not checking for expansional signs, and there's huge potential for eco expansion and even a big reboom here with the stones and food sources and everything on the side. So even if Udayadityavarman takes out all of this base with capped rams and mangonels and whatnot, Prithviraj doesn't care too much. Has established a almost 10 villager lead now, still no wheelbarrow, and expanded to the sides where Udayadityavarman is still on the 2 TCs and at least consistently producing here. But hello. There we go. Something must have caught Udayadityavarman's attention here. Yeah, this must be confusing. You have a massive score lead, you're killing the enemy base, like, why doesn't he resign already? And, okay, so at least he spotted this TC or confirmed that that's going on here, but there's still the issue of this one Udayadityavarman hasn't scouted for a while, and the next one added there, they don't know about at all, so... Looks like some army movement to the side here now and some expansion for the goals will provide some vision. Udayadityavarman is T-West confirmed. Back in the villager lead for Udayadityavarman, so the breaking of the enemy base, it's giving back the lead here. You could also, of course, you could TC this and steal the farms if the opponent isn't paying attention. Using the cavalry as well to chase here, the knights are with +1/+1 upgrades. And I'm not loving the eco balance of Prithviraj right now, with lots of gold and stone. Now drops the market to even that out a bit. There's enough stone for a castle though, wherever that might go. But the home base is obviously completely lost here, and Udayadityavarman has some serious military lead as well, 26-1. I won't wish Prithviraj to do Karambit's fam. That would be something. But this is before they got buffed, Udayadityavarman, so maybe we won't see it. But I mean, Udayadityavarman has not scouted this side. Has of course no specialties here, but could still be presence from Prithviraj on this side, right? Here comes some builders to take some neutral these resources though. Imperial Age on the way for the Cubans here. It's 73 villagers. The cap rams move further on, but I think that will be dealt with the pikes here. Pikes could take out both the knights and the cap ram here. Cubans going almost Celt style here with the pike and siege style push. Monastery as well, but I haven't seen any monks out. It's gonna be a siege ram push now, or what? There's definitely food for siege ram here for Udayadityavarman, making capped rams. And again, the military situation is just way ahead for the yellow player, 25-3. Udayadityavarman the first advance to the Imperial Age. Here comes the castle as well, unlocking the potential for trebuchets. No siege ram after all, no more villagers in creation, committing to only those 2 town centers, but not really expanding eco anything significantly here. Yeah, that eco KD is pretty. It's crazy that Prithviraj is still only 16 builders behind, but there's the GG with yeah. being called after losing another CC here. A good relocation by Prithviraj, but you can't just boom without any ability to defend it when in this situation. That doesn't quite work. See who's been producing the army here. Army Hive 31 to 12, and KD is fairly similar, but 60% of that was villagers killed from poor Udayadityavarman. Eco, even with only 2 TCs on point for the humans, and surprisingly smooth castlage time as well after committing to the double TC boom. Alright, decider game. That should be Prithviraj's home map. Final game. That has to be this one. On slopes! Nice! Nice. And we have a cavalry war on our hands. Waiting for players. Okay, let's just do as we've done previously as well and fast forward the starting a little bit. Sidwin for Berbers, says Akkal-AOE. I can't say I disagree. Berbers' cheaper cavalry should outmatch Magyars any day, but Magyars' only thing going for them is against the Berbers is the fact that they get the melee attack upgrades instantly, which would benefit them in the Scouts War for the spears and the Scouts. But that's not to say that Berbers or Magyars have to go for Scouts here. They might very well go into Drush or even Men-at-Arms Archers openings here. We'll see. You'll note that the players are scouting the sides just to see or confirm whether the side resources are being taken on this map. And I see the feudal age on the way for Prithviraj here, so let's slow down a little bit so we don't miss the early feudal age action. Ooh, Rip Scout! That went into the TC at lightning speed there, but now we've stabilized. You saw nothing. Quite right. Alright, so I got a little bit too overexcited with the opening. Magyars going for the Drush opening, whereas Prithviraj is going for the Scouts. And for sure the Scouts will now be able to hit Udayadityavarman's base before the walls can get up here. We'll see about it all, but... There's the stable. Prithviraj going to follow up with stable, so 20 pop scout here. No, sorry, 19 pop, in fact. No, 20 pop, sorry. Lost the scout. That's the that's the thing. Excessive in-game chatter during a tourney is weird. Yeah, maybe. Especially if the idea is to keep identities hidden. Here I was saying that Prithviraj scouts would hit enemy base before the walls go up, but that might just not be the case. Udayadityavarman committing heavily to the walls here. Feudal Age in at 23 pop here, and what's the follow-up actually? Spear defense? Or scouts as well. Rush into scouts. Yeah, I think so too, Ogre1. I think it's everyone, aka Puling Wretch. That Mudflow game was certainly indicating that. I think he's talking about yellow, but I'm not sure. But who went Incas on Cup or that one? Wasn't that Udayadityavarman? And that was hardly a puling wretch play. Yeah, then I don't agree. Then I don't agree. Then I don't think it's... Unless he's trying to... Maybe he tried to impose Karadrime's playstyle and failed spectacularly at least. That could actually be. And in that case, that's pretty well done. And maybe he is. Maybe. He says he's been very open about studying other players' playstyle. Yeah, exactly. He said he studied other players' playstyle to hide his identity. I expect a better Inca play for Karanime. That's actually very true as well, Logan. I won. Dennis, you're right. Yeah, you guessed me for... You watched one of the Arabia games, right? And then you said it had to be me. That's a while ago. That was like last week or something. I'm hoping we can do the reveal on Sunday. I have in fact casted my own gameplay this tournament. But nobody except myself knows that. And Palm, actually. Not sure if Palm saw that castle. Prithviraj, better suited for the castled switch here, and that's going to play right into Berber's favor here with the cheaper cavalry kicking in the castled, cheaper knights, cheaper camels. Quick bowling the scouts aggression here shouldn't be a problem. Using those scouts to get the poke in on one of them as well. Scouts numbers even there, aren't they? 4 to 4. Whatever happened to that angry housewife? Okay, so none of the players are going to the sides here, so not Beowulf confirmed. Because Beowulf has already claimed that the secret to slopes is making use of the food to the sides. So we can rule him out. Villager's situation... I'd say it's similar here because Udayadityavarman has wheelbarrow, Prithviraj does not. And neither player is... Well, there's the castle age from Prithviraj, so... As said, Berber's going up earlier, albeit without wheelbarrow. Will be having a less efficient farm eco compared to the Magyar's player here. Then again, you could say that having more farms kind of compensate for that at this stage in the game. Magyars need to be going crossbows in that matchup. Yeah, you can't really go you can't really go cavalry against Berbers, especially those Winston Berbers being up earlier to the cast stage. You could say that Palm, but if you see the player, if you see the opponent going for the rush, I mean, if you see Magyars going for the rush, wouldn't it still make sense to open scouts if you can prevent them from walling behind the rush? I don't know. Oh wait, you're talking about the Magyars, of course. Well, yeah, we need the Archer Mass, true. There's some good potential for damage for yellow here now, though, breaking through with the scouts just upon the time where Prithviraj reaches the cast stage, but the knights are in production. Another TC is going up on the stone to the side here as well, and some quick walls on the somewhat exposed resources here. The eco Prithviraj a good old mess during this aggression, though, but the knights will easily clean just a few knights here will easily clean this up. Ten to 3 military, and the Berbers are in a great spot now in the cast late here. Udayadityavarman still not up. Don't really understand this full feudal. You could say that, but if you look at the villager numbers, it's getting value at least. Eight villagers down. But you're also wasting army and wasting numbers as opposed to the player already in the cast stage and producing cheap cavalry. So, not to mention there are two DCs. So, even if you kill villagers, it's easier for blue to replenish here than it is for yellow. Why one scout at a time though? What's the... That's weird. I mean, it's annoying, but they just run into their certain deaths going in one at a time like this. There's the cast stage finally on the way for the Magyars player, though. Down 9 builders, or lost 9 builders, rather. Idle TC times very similar here, quite low, in fact. But Prithviraj, Udayadityavarman at least hasn't lost a single villager so far. Right, so TC dropped to the side here, but looks of it for Prithviraj. That's going to be the third TC on the wood line. 18 military to 8. This just... What can Magyars do here? Now getting overrun, overwhelmed by the blue armies here, and you just can't match Berber's cavalry production. There are 2 stables for the Magyars here as well, and Spearmen, but yeah, Pike on the way, Pike defense. You need serious numbers though. 17 knights for blue, only 3 knights and 7 pikes for Udayadityavarman. Almost full upgrades, just missing that +2 attack, and there they are in the blue knights. Only 1 TC still for Udayadityavarman, and now going to be looking at some builders' deaths here, I think. Keeping the pikes in the choke point here, I guess that's going to limit the knights' entry for a while, but Berber's cavalry is dirt cheap anyway, so I think you could almost risk this engagement with... Yeah, I think Prithviraj is committing here to get some good raids on, focusing on the pikes, even at the cost it requires against Magyars with that +2 attack that they have instantly. Villager kills 50 villagers to 37 now for Prithviraj, and while Udayadityavarman gets that house wall up and keeps any knights from entering further. There just aren't enough pikes here to defend, and the eco is just going to diminish more and more for Udayadityavarman. Prithviraj takes the win. GG is called. No good luck next here. Doesn't even have armor on the pikes. Nah, true. I think even with the armor it would be over though, because you'd never get to the numbers with 17 almost fully upgraded knights out. But cool games. That was the last of the round of 8, in fact. Going to 5 games. Playing cavalry against the Berbers. That just doesn't work unless you're able to beat them to cast age by big margins somehow. And that's not what the Magyars player did here at all. I thought he was thinking Drush FC with the opening Drush there, but apparently not. But Drush into scouts, that seems weird. That just seems so weird, even against, or especially against Berbers. Especially against Berbers or other cavalry civs, and with the walls almost in place already. You don't see Drush into scouts a lot. And that's probably a reason, because it delays your casting shot. It did seem to work out on Arabia for Udayadityavarman though, but that was also a different matchup. That was Franks versus Bulgarians, and then the Drush makes a lot more sense to stop that instant man at arms. Yeah, exactly. The scouts shouldn't get much. Anyway. So, last round of 8 indeed.